Page of Swords. All right, we'll put that over here. We'll talk about that in a moment. Magician coming up as your underlying energy. This says it all, guys. This is, you have the knowledge and you have the tools, right? Do you have the confidence to use what you know and what you have to get what you want, to create what you want? The magician he's the alchemist. He channels the energies. He creates whatever he wants out of this. That's why he's seen as a master manifester. But he has to channel the energy to direct. Now, what does that mean? What is the energy? That can be directing your emotions into the area that you want it to be. So, we could have, the example I always give for this is, imagine you felt angry. Anger, you see something and you think that's not right, that shouldn't be happening. Some of us get angry or distressed and think, well, this is the way it's always been. Other people are going to channel that anger into creating a new reality out of that. But you channel it, anything. You can channel anything into something productive to create what it is that you want to create. And I just picked anger there. I don't know why, but there you go. We have the Ten of Cups coming up at the heart of this, which is what your focus is on. And amazing, brilliant. Focusing on the happily ever after. Now, we usually see a family scene here. So sometimes this card can be about family, but family isn't always blood. It's the groups that we're with, who we want to share our happiness with, right? So very focused. When we begin, look at the top row. This is, I know what I want to create. I know what I have to work with. I know I have this knowledge, and it's having the confidence to use it to create this happily ever after, this kind of beautiful tableau. And we all have our own idea of what this looks like. For some people, it is this kind of, 2.4 children, the white picket fence, that thing, or the job that we want. Whatever it is, that is the completion of our happiness, the whole point of why we go through that cycle, right? Now, this doesn't feel like something new. It feels like a new way to get to it, or a new way to kind of go about it. The reason I'm saying it's not something new is we have the Four of Wands coming up as a past energy now. Interestingly enough, and when I see a specific message, I will say it, both of these cards are marriage cards. Commitment. We commit further to something. We're fully in. And the Four of Wands is a great foundation. You have a great foundation to build on. Whatever this work was that you did here, whenever there are fours, there's no movement. And out of all the fours, this is the least frustrating because it asks us to pause and to celebrate how far we've come. To celebrate, the start that we've made in something. It could be a literal celebration, and we have just come out of Christmas, and for those people that have celebrations this time of the year. But it's bigger than that for me. It's more about a foundation that you have. And how do I go bigger? How do I build on this? Now, I'm getting the sense that you might not have been able to build on this for a while. You might have had this vision for a while. I don't feel it as something new. Why am I saying that? Because we have the Eight of Pentacles coming in here, and that's building on this, right? That's that focused, diligent work. Where do I apply my knowledge? Where do I use these tools? What am I working on? And he's always very focused. This is the apprentice card. He's trying to gain mastery over something, doing it again and again and again until it's perfect. But he doesn't mind doing it because he knows it's leading somewhere. It's leading to the Ten of Pentacles, another happily ever after card that we have. Like the Ten of Cups. It's for his long-term security and stability. He's ready to do this. A lot of vision here. A lot of purpose. A lot of now I know which direction to go to build on this. But what do we have coming in as a future energy? We have the Nine of Swords. And the Nine of Swords is all about it's stress, anxiety, worry. It's going over the same things again and again. So what that says to me is, okay, well, I can put in all the diligent effort and work to build this, to get to my happily ever after. I've got the tools, I've got the knowledge, yeah. But what's going to happen? Where is it going to go? And that's, I say this, if you've been following me on Instagram, I've talked about it a lot this past week. Where when we think about the past a lot, and I don't see that coming up because we've got the Four of Wands in the past, that's regret. That's where feelings of regret come in. But the Nine of Swords coming up as a future energy, that pops up when we're thinking, well, what will happen? Is this going to happen? Will I get my happily ever after? What's the point of doing it? You do it for the love of doing it, like the Eight of Pentacles. I mean, think about it. I'll give an example. So that's me. If I love the tarot, if I love pulling cards, if I wasn't getting any views, if, no one liked, would I still be doing this? Yes, I'd still be doing it because it's something that I love to do. I'm not thinking about what is my channel going to grow? Am I going to get followers? Are people going to like this? That's not why I do this. And it's that same kind of energy that's coming in. But so this can be, you know, everyone's had one sticking point, one thing that stopped them. And that's yours seems to be, well, I can do this, I can put effort into it, but where's it going to lead? That's that overthinking aspect that comes in. But it's asking you to shift your focus. Don't keep going over that. Look at where you want it to go. Why are you doing this? What's the end game for you? What do you love about this? What is your heart's desire? What is your complete, you know, why would you begin this? Why did you start this here? Why did you build that foundation to go forward? Shift your focus. That's what comes up. And we have the Page of Swords coming up with this. So the Page of Swords is very much saying there's more information that's needed. You know, how can we get stressed out? This is stuff that's going on in our head. Well, Page of Swords says get more information. Get more information. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it, right? With the swords energy coming up in the future. There will be more information. There might be more questions to ask. There might be communication that needs to be had, whatever it is. But you can't worry about it now because you won't. He's not even looking at what he's done. He's not looking at the next pentacle. He's focused on what's in front of him right now. The moment of power is always in the now, right? And do you think if he was worried about, you know, well, what if my pentacles don't sell? What if I don't have enough? What if they don't? He wouldn't even bother doing it, right? So that's the sticking point. These two are coming up very strongly together. There's more information that will be had at a later date when you get to that bridge. Right now, perfect whatever it is that you're trying to perfect. For some of you, it's fixing a relationship. I'll be honest, with the Ten of Cups, Four of Wands, you guys know you've got a good foundation here. The Magician is about communication. Channeling that to where it needs to go. That's what needs work. I feel like you've always had the tools. You've always had that kind of vision, but you've not known what to do with it. And that's the difference here. Pentacles is our physical reality. The actual work that we're doing, where we're taking it. And think, I mean, have a look at this. So we've got Cups, the emotional aspect. We've got Wands, the passion, the excitement, what drives us, you know, what action we're ready to take. This is actually doing it, implementing it. But then we have Swords coming in. So you have a nice combination, a bit of everything. But this can either trip you up or keep you going. You can either do the whole, hey, you know, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Because this is, I say this all the time, and I say this to my clients all the time as well. This is the most bullshit position in a spread. Anyone who doesn't get that about the tarot, then you don't understand the tarot. And you're not making the best use of it. Because we are creating this as we go here. And the future, whatever comes up here, is the most probable based on our own narrative, our own actions, our own choices. And here we have, well, I don't know, this is stress and anxiety, worry, right? But it says things are not as bad as it seems. There's more information to be had. And there might be an energy here of, well, you know, I'm looking at, there's a kind of moon energy coming up. I know that's your card in the tarot anyway, but that of the shadows up ahead. You don't see the path fully ahead. And that's distracting you from what you're doing right now. And the advice is the devil. So the devil says, hey, what's holding you back? What is holding you back? Because you have a great foundation here. The devil talks about, well, have a look at these guys. These are usually, they're the lovers. So we're doing what we love to do, right? Are we though? They're chained to a plinth, but they could free themselves, but they don't. He's not even touching them. He's not even holding them. This is the card of temptation. Now, how can that play out? If this is a work situation for you, for some of you, it's that sense of, well, what's the point of doing this if I'm not getting paid? And I get it. We all live in a world where we have rent to pay, food to pay for, clothes to buy, and all that kind of stuff. And we are here is to have a human experience, to enjoy all of that practical stuff as well. So understand that. Practical long-term stability and security, right? But there's nothing to hold you back now. We have the Magician here. We have the Magician. It says you have all the tools. And he has all the aces in front of him. The Ace of Pentacles, the Ace of Swords, the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Wands. So, you know, he has everything that he needs to have any new beginning that he could go for. And you have, you know, the effort that you can put into something. But if this is almost like cutting yourself off at the knees before you've even begun. It's like saying, well, what's the point? It's just going to turn into stress. No, it won't do that. Is that because of the past? Because sometimes the devil can indicate that the things that held us back in the past, overall old behavioral patterns, old relationships that we had with people. I don't want to go back there. Well, then you won't. That's the Page of Swords. That knowledge that you get, the information that you get. There will be more information available. Let's get past this point first. Let's focus on what's right in front of us right now. Let's get you some oracle cards and see how this pans out. I get it, guys. You know, it's normal. It's absolutely normal. And that's not a judgment. We all think about that, right? Every actor I know, before they go out on stage, they are all about to act something. They have that bit of fear. But that can keep us going. You know, think about it. If you're worried, if you're thinking I'm going to be worried in the future, you're going to work even harder to get it perfect. And perfect is a subjective thing. There's no kind of objective perfection. It's our own idea of what perfect is. So put in the work now. Put in the effort now into creating what you want to create. Because if you have a look at this, this is all amazing energy, beautiful energy. Let's go forward. Let's get that happily ever after. Let me have what I want to have out of this. I have all the tools. I have all the knowledge. And it's like brakes, screeching brakes come on. It's like, well, what if this happens? And what if that happens? I love you guys very much. I will see you next time, but that's all for now. Goodbye.